All right, we're live here, and I am doing part of a watch list video to be released this weekend, but you're going to get it early because I have doctor's appointments for my eye and other stuff. I'm trying to get ready. So I'm here at the office tonight, and I wanted to get some research out to you, but we're also right before the close here. Stocks after hours stock trading ends at 8 o'clock. So we, while we were here, we were doing some scans and stuff. So I have one that I just got into, and someone's just saying that it's CBO. I want to try to bring it up on the screen here. And what we're looking at this, and this is kind of a watch list type of education type of thing. We're going to be hitting a couple different subjects. All right, so it's starting to move a little. Let's see here. And what happens is we look for these stocks. This is kind of just a kind of a search for stocks if you want to continue trading after hours or going into tomorrow. There's a technique where you could look for momentum stocks that will continue trading in the morning. Now remember, good brokers will allow you to trade from 4 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock at night stocks if the stocks are eligible to open up. And when you find the after-hour news and stocks that are grinding higher and they grind up right to the 8 o'clock close and close at the highs, they tend to, I would say over 75% of the time, continue to move higher in the pre-market session. Now, you have that momentum, those momentum traders getting onto the last big spike in volume, and these stocks are showing that. So you get this follow-through, and you really, sometimes you get lucky and get a nice runner, and it just, the Piranha and the Robin Hoods, everyone grabs onto it. It comes out with some news, maybe. I don't believe there was any news on this, but it has the feeling of something brewing here. So you could maybe see some news, and just get a momentum trade on it. You get 10 cents on this. It's $100 a trade, and we already are up. What do we get it on this? 30 cents or 29 cents? CBL, 30 cents. I got 1,000 shares. I'm up $21 right now. It's a $20 bill, but it's a technique. I think the key is understanding these are different techniques, and they don't happen all the time. You have to look for the right criteria, and this criteria is, what I just explained. You watch the, and what kind of charting service you had helps out. If you look at mine, it gives me, there's different ways you could look at volume and stuff. I get an after hours volume scanner and stuff. Tells me what's moving here after hours, more aggressive than other things. So that's what you want to be. The criteria is it has to be moving. There has to be a lot of volume in it. If it's news or whatever, you could figure that out. And then we go to like 3 minute or the 1 minute or 5 minute chart, and then you could see the after hour session defined here in gray. And we popped and dropped, and then you have to dig down a little deeper. You got to figure out what the hell the news was. If there was news, does it feel, this all has to happen pretty fast. In some cases, if you can't, then you try to find the stocks that are like this, the pop and the continued grind higher. And this is a $7 stock. Most of these stocks we're finding like this are in the dollar, range. So, and that's just something you could check each and every day as you get out of the, let's see, E-Man. Again, we were looking at this one just before, just seeing if anything else is Lakeland, CBL. I'm in that one. You see how we're closing right at the highs here? We have 10 minutes to go, and this thing is starting to rally now. Volume's starting to get into it. Now, like I said, am I going to be the person that gets up at 4 o'clock and takes this off if it's trading at 39 cents? It doesn't have to be an even $100, but perfect practice makes perfect. Not just doing the right thing. Doing the right thing. Don't trust any of these stocks. It's all a scam. So just remember that, and you'll make it. As you can see here, we are 1 minute away from 8 o'clock, and look at where this one is, right up here. Probably a little pop here, Last people getting in. Last of the last jumping on board before the pre-market. Look at the volumes here spiking. This is all the things you want to see in this for a continuation pattern for tomorrow. It has everything going for it. A lot of people just wait to the end, last minute here, just to dive in. Let's see if it closes on the highs, because in some cases, if it's kind of like sketchy news and stuff, you'll see a big seller right at the last second. All right, 8 o'clock. We are closed. Closed. It's pretty nice volume at the end of the day there. So that pushed us up. I only have 1,000 shares, but that pushed us up to $38. All right, so anyway, I'll start the video up again here. This was CBL. This is one of our after hours setups, and I was just explaining how I kind of figure out the profit area on this, or at least we know how these things run. And again, 4 o'clock, if you have it in you to get up, you can probably manage this trade much easier, or you could get up at 6:30 like I do, and hope everything's good. Sometimes that works out for the better. You could like get up, and you know what happened to me the other day? I put an order in. You could actually put an order in at a little after 4 o'clock, or 4 o'clock, and just sell it if it kind of gaps up. But what happened to me? I was in the high ho, and it gapped up to $7, and then started selling off. And I Sunday after my surgery, I put in an order for Monday morning to sell at $4.50, which was a double anyway. But it ended up opening up at $4.50, and then moving up to $7 again. And I was like, holy crap! It moved right back up to $7, then pulled back and all the way back, went down to $3 and change. So I was in the right. I know I wanted to sell it. I just didn't have time to sit around and try to trade it. I just put that market order, that limit order in for the 4 o'clock open. Not all platforms let you trade that early. So you might have some profits out there, and the sharks come and they eat those profits up, and by the time you wake up, it's just skin and bones. Where's the car here? The car disappeared. He bailed. Unless he must have got out and walked into the mall. When you turn off your car, the icon disappears. I'm waiting for my Chipotle. All right, so got a couple things. We did a little lesson on that. After hours momentum candidates. Whatever screener you have, that'll work. But just go for volume, low price, ramping into the close. The markets are open right now, up 250. That this tradeometer's been in the RockBot's been in a trade since the open here. Nothing's really going on. But I wanted to bring up some stocks and start to go over some things. All right, so let's start that. All right, IPI here, nothing happening yet. Expected to announce, or at least they just approved reverse split, if they want to take a reverse split, which is not that bad on some stocks. Some stocks actually rally just because it's news. They don't even know. I mean, half of these stocks that are popping, there's no real significant news. So IPI is a well-known name. I like it down here just as a flatliner under the radar, waiting for some news on it. The VTGN, just an update on that. I don't know if that was an offering or something. VTGN, they do the nasal spray for depression and SAD. Then we have the what's that? INPX. And again, still under the radar. This is really interesting because it has the right niche in this environment. Social distancing and tracking and stuff, and monitoring people. It just seems like a perfect match, but it hasn't been picked up here by anybody. It's just not. Like I said, I think we're in early on this, way before everyone else hears about it. So holding those as my cheapies. I have a few other ones here. But those are the interesting ones. Net, I believe, is coming out with earnings, and this is one of my favorites. It's a $40 mid-range, mid-priced, rising trend line. Looks really good. I like the earnings going. I like going into earnings with this. And that's where we are right now. I did pick up some Boeing, a Boeing call today, and we had a little interest in it. And after hours, we came out with some news of a deal or to rescue, or at least add to the payrolls of the airlines. Payroll protection, I think 20, I don't even know how many billions. I thought it was high 20s, maybe it was even more, $1 billion. I don't know if that news came out officially. It was read somewhere, it was found somewhere, and ALL popped during that. We'll take a look at where that news came out. It's pretty easy to probably figure out where that news came out. Oh wait, AAL, sorry. There you go. Alright, so if you're looking at this stock here, now I do believe here this is a 2 o'clock is where it really, oversold. That's really where it started. 2 o'clock when the news hit, and I don't know if this was confirmed or another mention of it by Donald Trump. It popped back up, and now this is where it is. I ended up getting some Boeing today, just because. And Boeing here reacting well for, airlines staying in business. We had a good base at 155. It was a great base down there. Off of that level, continued. I felt like I was chasing a little today, but I said, what the heck? It was such a sideways type of day. I just grabbed that because it was showing some relative strength early on. So I'd like to get some follow-through on that. That was just mainly a trade. Let's see what else we have here. Well, I guess we have to talk about the LVGO. It's not the elephant in the room. Boy, what a weird day it was. I know not everyone probably took profits on this. I ended up even buying some shares the last couple days, so I was surprised. I ended up, overall in trade, taking most of my profits out of it. But seeing the reaction here and holding stock when it was at 160 something pre-market, LVGO, it was up here pre-market 165, and I was there. I was right there when it happened. And I'm standing here at the desk. I just got into the office. I'm like, wow, look at this is going to be a great day. What the hell's going on? And I saw the news, merger, Teledoc, and I'm like, 80. Then I was like, didn't really look at the news. Someone threw in some prices, but not realizing the price was really depending on what Teledoc's price is too. So once Teledoc started selling off, here comes Livongo here selling off, and all day, both of them identical patterns. So one's really, they're now connected. I still like the trade in the LVGO though, better than the Teledoc, even though they'll eventually merge. But at this point right now, what if there is a chance of, something falling apart on this? This has a nice pullback. And then, again, I think these things get overdone. Seem to be holding that 200 period moving average. Let's take a look at the 60 here. 60 got oversold. I would like to see this thing bounce back over 140. And this is the daily. So this stock is not done from going higher. I just think that the sell the news, the sell the merger, they cherry picked the top of this. I mean, Teledoc grabbed LVGO at the highest price it could be. It's like they almost topped it out. I don't know. Couple divergence scans. You can see a little divergence there. NCLH. And here's the next one I want to talk about. Oxy. Now, this is interesting. We're starting to get a 9.3 divergence up here. Didn't really dip down. I do like this Oxy here. I did pick up some yesterday, day before. We're up on it. It's starting to move up. We're on the trend line here. And we're just starting to move up. I mean, this is not a trade I normally take. I just wanted to, I was looking at it. I said, this is a nice pullback. I just wanted to take a shot on it here. Gut feeling. It's in the channel. We're overdue. We're oversold. So right now it is hanging in there. It's not an aggressive stock. I don't know if we're going to get super lucky on this. And then we're going to pop out of here and change trends and maybe see a run in this. Who knows? But I am in that. And I see that the market here pushing back up now. The divergence is holding true. I'll bring this over here. This is what we're looking at here on the RockBot. Trading the MES. And like I said, I was going to actually set that up here soon. I should have took that one.
Order filled.
Alright, so there's first, I messed this up. Why the hell is this going like this? So first profit taken. Just watching this set up here. Now what I have here is a Thunderbird 1 minute SS. That's one half of the super signal, and it's really I think the best script on there, because you can use it alone. You can use it with the super signal to give you the bigger alerts, and the other 1 minute Thunderbird is the same thing. But this one is, I know this one was. Parameters are set perfectly. It's tuned really good.
Order filled.
Oh my God! What just happened? Market exploded there. Did you see that live? Follow that. You see that stop rip right up there, and then let's see what happens here. It looks like there was some news. News is my burrito is way late. Hey, Anthony. So that was the second target hit. Now it's in its last, has one contract left, and has a trailing stop here, really protecting. This is where the entry was off of divergence setup. Here's your divergence setup. Well, actually, it was here. It might have been here too. There was a divergence setup here. This is where it was, and eventually you're getting that pop. News on stimulus. Let me see what we have here. Or U.S. will pay Johnson & Johnson now. All right, so no. Didn't see anything breaking here. I think it's more, what time is it? It's 8:24. What the hell?
Tradometer ES overbought.
Nice trade. Let's see what happens here. What else? Pretty decent pullback here. You see where that 20-period moving average is way down here. Now we're looking at the MES on the Ninjatrader chart. If I move back to this chart over here, you'll see some other indications of where we are. So we're right above the previous high, but look what we went up to. Holy crap, look at that. My trend line. We nailed it perfectly. You know, I'm telling you, my trend lines, original trend lines that I put in here and establish, we come back and we tag them. We tagged it once, twice. We tagged it again here. So look at this. We're probably going to get a nice little pullback here. Let's see. Well, we might even pop here. I'm going to leave this over on the bot channel, the RockBot channel. We'll just go back to here. Well, you'll hear the alerts when they go off. And I want to change it over now, too. And maybe there is some significant news rumored out there because the volume did come in here. There was some volume. Market here pushing higher. In Beirut, that explosion left 300,000 homeless. They said the explosion was 1/5 of Hiroshima, 50% of the city damaged. Fatalities unknown. You got to be more than 100 people. Well, it keeps on rolling. All right. Now take a look at some other stocks here. I get caught up on that stuff. AVCT, E-Man, CBLT. All right. I'm going to start that video again here and kind of starting doing a fast scan here. But I just went through a lot of stuff and everything here. If you look back here, everything here pretty much sideways throughout July. Even Amazon. This one looks interesting. Activision, again, AUPH, Broadcom, American Express. Look how tight that is. Just got oversold. It gave us a Nike checkmark bounce. And again, we just mentioned Boeing. At least we have the stochastics headed in the right direction. BDX, I like it. It popped earlier. It looks like it wants to break out. Earnings are going to be, I believe, tomorrow after close. Could be. And they also did some research today on the show. They also the top supplier for syringes and needles. Biogen, again, look at the whole July. Not much going on. Market seems to be on hold here. Merckshire looking good. Boston Scientific, not a bad pullback. but not really performing. Budweiser, same thing. Here's the BVXV, or wasn't this the migraine, which we were in? Come on, come on. Clorox. That's CMG. We're going to short that. Wrapping up, it says. 9:05. What time is it? 8:36. This is awful. Costco had some big news after hours today, and it actually ran yesterday. And those Nike check marks are usually pretty good. Coop, slow. CRISPR's interesting. It's looks like we're at the highs, right? I have to go out further here. Yeah, it's actually a nice little flag. Breakout would be right above us at $98. It's really the breakout. Trading at $95.50. Cureleaf, that was a great trade. X marks the spot from mid-June here. We got the push up towards the trend line. I got out before we hit that trend line, but we did get a nice one. It's continuing to rally. We're up against that trend line. I mean, a pullback would be great on this. It was a good trade too. Another tight stop special. CVEM, CVS sideways. That's the weekly chart now I'm looking at. Hold on. Look at that. Oh, so sideways. Deere & Company's acting good. And you know, in Dollar Tree, you know, in this situation, cheaper. This has always been a good stock for hard times. Dollar Tree, Dollar General. Walt Disney popping. DraftKings waiting for some sports. Kind of a lot of dead stuff here. Dynatrace has always been a good one, but no sight of when it's going to pop. Dexcom is there. Of course, that still looks good. Life Sciences. Fast and all, very strong. I mean, there's a winner. Because you know the infrastructure package, they're working on it, and that would pop this one big. This is nice. Nice trend. Slowly moving up. Looks good. I'm going to write this one down. I think I gotta quit. I've been wrapping up for the last 10 hours here. I gotta hang up on these guys. It's 8:40. I'm just so hungry. In the second part of today's video, we're going to be attaching the Interactive Brokers platform to the RockBot on my side, and I'm going to let it run overnight, trading the MES. So the first thing, and this is actually going out to Camille. She's been trying to get this thing set up, and we've been missing each other. So I'm going to try to, hopefully this helps her. I'll pass this on to her too. She has the RockBot, and a lot of people have the RockBot code, and you can run that on a Ninjatrader platform. The Ninjatrader platform is what I built it on, so it has to be run on the Ninjatrader platform. So if you have a Ninjatrader platform or are interested in one, using their broker, then you could use the RockBot. Now the RockBot has a view page, which is the RockBot channel, and then it also, for lifetimers, they get the code to run on their own machines. So to a point where this is always education on how to run these things and how to get them up and running. I start my interactive brokers on this computer, and then what we're going to do is it's already done, but what you're going to have to do is go to Ninjatrader here. Right now the strategy is running on a SIM account is SIM, but the first thing you want to do is check your connection. So you have to connect it to the IB. So I have my interactive brokers here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to keep my IQ feed. I'm going to probably disconnect my Coinbase feed, but I want my IQ feed. And I'll tell you why after. So we're going to go back to connections, IQ feed. Let's go to interactive brokers. Click on that, and it should be connected. Now, if you want to configure that, again, you go down to this point right here. This is where you're originally going to put your interactive brokers in. I should start from the beginning, right? So you're going to go here to connections, configure, and then you're going to pick from the list which ones are accepted. eSignal, interactive brokers, IQ feed, Ninjatrader, Continuum, Rhythmic, TDM Airtrade. So you drag it down there, and then you fill out the information you need, account, passwords, etc., etc., etc. And then you're good, and then it should connect. Again, the connection should connect. It's connected. It says the green light, and then we should be good to go. Now I'm going to go to Ninjatrader. You guys hear me okay, right? Everyone's paying attention here. If they want to tune in, that's good. So I'm going to go to my Ninjatrader. I'm going to actually, we'll start from the bottom up. So I'm going to get rid of that chart. And I want to start with a new chart just to show you this is the way I start things. Go to chart. Go to the symbol I want to be traded. Now, you can trade if you have quotes for stocks and stuff. You can trade stocks during the day. You can run the Ninjatrader for stock. I mean the RockBot for stocks also. But like I said, there's a little trick you have to do to understand the ticks are no longer ticks. They're pennies. So anyway, we're gonna go with the MES tonight. Everything else is good there. I just okay that. Then the chart will pop up. Starts off on the daily. I want to put that on the 1 minute here. This showed you the last trigger there. That was the last trigger. And that's what the sim count had took in this MES so far, 9250. That's what that says right there. All right. So what I'm going to do now is going to move this over to my account. And we're going to open up a strategy. And I'm going to take the 1 minute Thunderbird SS 'Cause I just like this one. I just love it. It's basically the same thing as a 1 minute buy. But on my platform, I've been adjusting them and I've been working on them, improving them with the new stop, which I've been testing. But I haven't tested on this one, and I just want to have a pure divergence, good old fashioned, everything good here. So now, considering this is overnight, normally I have the parameters set here. Take profits. We're gonna be trading 5 contracts in the MES. Nothing too big. And because it's overnight, I probably will move this down to like 6 ticks for number 1, and then we'll put this as 12, and then take profits 2. So each one, where do we want to take the profits off? First profits. I want to say 6 ticks after a divergence. How many do I want to take off? 2. Second profit area, 12 ticks. How many do you want to take off? 2. Original stop loss. I want to put in 12 ticks. All right, I'm just going to put it in there. I'm going to give it a little run. It should be the opposite. You would like to get 12 ticks profit with a 6 tick loss. But I like the divergence so much that I'm willing to give it a little run. I'm not going to be watching it, so I got to give it enough room so it compensates for the candle reversal. Sometimes you get a spike down in the candle, and it'll be a big spike. It could be a 2-3 point spike down and then reverse back up. The new update I have is going to fix that. It has fixed it, but that way it automatically puts the stop underneath it. But I want to run this one because, again, this is real money. I just want to let this run out. And then normally what I'm going to do is I want to follow this up and take profits after 6 ticks. So I'm bringing my stop to break even, following it up 6 ticks, and then hopefully it runs and we can just follow it up real fast. 5 contracts, MES. And then here we're going to go to account, and we're going to go down to Ninja or my UB or Interactive Brokers account. Click on that, and then apply it, and then and then enable it, and then OK it. All right. So now it is enabled. And I will push it back over on this screen over here, and then I'll switch over to that screen on that. Now, the video now that you're looking at, it will not see that. Market's pulling back right now. Properties. Now what I do usually is I open up the indicators here. Now I normally would put up a short signal on here too, so I might do that. I haven't decided yet. But here's the parameters. This makes my I'm going to go over here to my watermarks, and then I want to change this to white, and then I want to change this to 6 to make it a little brighter, and then we're going to use custom text. And then we're going to go down to text, real money, our live account, MES, futures, RockBot, Signal, Thunderbird. Keep it all code. We know that Thunderbird means divergence trade.
Order submitted. Order filled.
All
Order
hands on
submitted.
deck. All
Order
hands
submitted.
on deck.
Order submitted.
Apply. Okay. I had a feeling we were going to actually see that. I felt like that pullback here in that little candle. Switch over. Switch over. You are seeing it. Sorry, I should have been showing you something else over here before. Big pop here. Big divergence pop. The problem is we'll get the pop 9 out of 10 times. Will we get a big enough run to take us up to first profits? That's the trick, you know. And then it comes right back down. So you do get that pop. You might get 2 ticks. You might even want to trade that way. You might want to trade just 2 ticks, bigger contract size, and just get that one, really micro scalp it, because divergences always give us a little pop out of the channel that the divergence is in. And if you want to consider this the channel that the divergence was in, you know what? I would consider that almost. It was a slight divergence too. It wasn't a big one, but it was there. And technically we did get a move out of that underlying micro channel, Now we have, so all divergences work unless there's news. The problem is, and the worst problem is, when to take profits, expecting more out of a divergence if the market's not willing to give it to you. But the underlying concept here is understanding where the divergence happens in, usually in a 1, 2, 3 pattern or a wedge pattern, and then that divergence gives us just enough, because it's a good signal and it has that momentum shift and it really means something. 9 out of 10 times we break through the channel. This would, a lot of times you could get caught. And again, this is why I don't really recommend trading it, letting it run and not paying attention to it, because you could get these, other algorithms that fake out other, they feed on these fake moves and moves down, and you have to be able to read that. You have to be able to go into, take control back and say, hey, this is a fast move up on the 1 minute stochastics. I have 2 ticks. You know what? I'll take it. And these days with low commission, no commission, you might even want to just take that. You have to really know your rules and really feel the market, become one with the market in kind of a corny way. So let's see if this works. We're live right now. Low volume market also, which is very difficult to trade. That's why I don't look for a lot. I mean, if I put in 4 ticks on here, it might be worth doing. And I think I will do that after this trade. I want to move it down to 4 ticks. And then I'll move the second target up really high, and just hopefully we get a runner on it. And I'll still trail it with 6 ticks though. 4 ticks, 6 ticks. We'll take profits after 4. After 6, we get a trailing stop, and we only lost. We'll still work on that. But if you could get into that habit of taking that fast profit, I think that might even be better. And I don't, I'm trying to get a little move because of the divergence gives us usually a bigger move. So over time, you're going to get bigger moves. Over time, I could say, why did this pivot here back here? Why? Oh, I'm not even showing you the right screen here. But here, let's take a look at this screen. Oh, you are seeing the right screen. But right here, you have the divergence, you have the channel, you have the break higher. Here, over here, why did this? I said, all right, what do you mean about divergence? Usually mark the big move. Well, this was obviously a perfect divergence. You had a slight tight channel, but this candle came down, took out the lows. Stochastics way higher, a nice angle. Maybe 20 degrees. There was a pure divergence right there, and you could see it on the. And there was one back here, and the RockBot took it in sim mode. I wasn't live at the time. But look at the move from that. And now we have another little divergence, but we got a small move. But we'll see what happens. The best I could do, Orion, is to put it on the back test, because I just keep it running each night, and half the time it'll freeze up, and I think it's not the program that's freezing up, it's the activity versus Ninja. That's something I have to deal with. But I think the best thing to do is put in, take this these parameters right here and run them on the back test. That way it'll identify all the setups that would have triggered, and you can look back at it. I try to do it. It takes me a good 2 hours to compile that information, so I'm never here. I have to let it run overnight. Maybe I'll do that. But now that I got it over running on this, I'm just going to let it run overnight so we'll be able to see it. I always could manually, move this. If I'm going to move this back over on the chart here for a second. So it kind of keeps a running tally here. Where's the other one? Oh, here it is. All right, there we go. It's tough. All right, so then you could actually see it. So you can take manual control over here. If you look over to the right, you have your dashboard. So I could close, I could reverse, I could close the trade out. I could do whatever. If I get $20, I could call it the $20 pickup. You're walking down the street, you see $20, you're going to pick it up. These are the type of trades you could easily get $20 on all night long. Here's 18, 19, 20, 18.50. I mean, we're bending over all day for that, right? I would bend over. I would. Shit. And this was recorded. Damn it. I would pick up that 20. My commission's less than $1, or what I think it is. All right, so $25, $30. Let's let this thing. See, come on, must have moved.
Order filled.
All right, so now I have this automatic here. It's automatic. We're already locked in some profits. Market's running.
Tradometer ES
Oh, it's
overbought.
taking off. Is this thing recording? Power of the divergence here. Now I still can take it off. At any point I could take it off and say, well, I don't want that trailing stop, or maybe I could move the trailing stop up. I believe it readjusts after each tick, but I think, let me see if I can move it here, just to there. Yeah, I can move it there, but I believe after this candle, reset and follow after 6 ticks. But for my own personal preference, in this environment, it's very cool to be able to catch that move and say, hey, Johnny, where's the biggest moves that happen? Well, the divergences. Look at this right here. Back here, I didn't, it was back here actually, and it went all the way up here. And now we had a divergence right here, and look where it is right now. The proof is in the chart, not in the pudding, because that's illegal. That's where you put the roofies. That crossed the line there. This is a live video. I believe if we close it out prematurely, which I'm going to do here.
Order canceled.
I just want to. The reason I want to show you that.
Order submitted. Order filled.
Is, again, if you feel like you're in, you could override this because we have more experience in certain things. If I don't have an exit scenario planned out with the stochastics yet. That's going to be in an update version that you have different exit scenarios. You could exit on stochastic rotation. You could exit on, a certain candle. These are all things I have on my list of things to do. Right now we have new low bar being put in at the lowest candle, which I think is great. But what I want to show you is when you stop that automatically, if you go back to your Thunderbird account, you have to enable it again. It's stopped. It's not enabled anymore, and then it comes back here. And it should turn. Now, technically, it's still yellow because it's still technically in a trade. I took it out. I took it off before the end of the trade. So technically, it's still the scenario is, and it's still recognized it should be in a trade. So it's not resetting. It's not saying that. And again, the Rockstar effect, I didn't take that in consideration. I did not take in consideration the Rockstar effect. Damn. So that's why it continues to be yellow and it won't reset, because it hasn't hit its trailing stop, or it hasn't hit anything. This was back in the previous trade, but it's first profit. Look at me. I took it off way too soon. It was a divergence, Johnny. So I need it to it needs to come down. You can't see where the, mathematically and it's calculated where the stop would be, and if it does pull back, then it'll reset and it'll start trading again. That's the one thing you have to remember. If you're taking this RockBot and you're trading it like I like to trade it, standing by, letting it take it, I might not be looking at it. It takes a trade. I have time to analyze the situation. It looks like a good divergence. I'll let it be. I'm not worried about it. And then when we get to a level, I might even say, hey, I might take it off. I probably should have left it on because it was a divergence. But overnight, as my voice fails me, the overnight trade is tricky sometimes. But what are you going to do when you do this stuff live and you get a big move like this? You lock it in, because right now I'm a winner. Winning. Now let's see here what happens now. It will come in and replace. It will say trailing stop hit, even though it's no longer in the trade. The internal trade is when you start to chart up again and you activate it, it's going to mark, wait until the criteria is finished. All right, I should have just moved it over here, but I was recording this also. That's why I had to move it over here. All right, so it's good stuff. It's good stuff. And with the new MES, it's 1/10 in ES. It's really easy to start to trade this way and not have a lot of risk involved. It's perfect for the RockBot, the MES. Let's see here. So it's pulled back here. I wonder if that would have hit its stop. I don't see the stop being hit yet, or saying that the stop was hit. Let's take a look at the platform here one more time. And while I'm here, I should set up a short signal here. So what I'm going to do here while we're talking is I'm going to go. Oh my God, markets we're still running. Divergences mark the bottoms. Asia is open. We witnessed it. All right, so what I'm going to do here is going to go back to, I'm going to go up here to where and I'm going to go down here, which you have you have all these scripts. When you become a lifetime member, you get the scripts that are in the RockBot package. So you get the 1 minute super signal, you get the 1 minute short, you get the super signal, you get the bull and bear flag. But I really promote understanding of the 1 minute super signal and the 1 minute SS, working both of those. I want to put the short in here, but lots of times when the market's trending, it's going to be more positive for another, so you sometimes have to go for that. If you are getting a short signal, I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to adjust that. I'm going to take it. So I'm going to bring it down. So now it's my shorts. So now for my shorts, and again, we know that the market's not giving us really a on a 5-minute short divergence. 1 minute short divergence if it holds, and a 5-minute. So let's say we're gonna only take 3, 4 ticks, just for see. I don't want to get run over on the short side, so I'm cautious on this. I'd rather just have my long running, to tell you the truth. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to run it. It's going to backfill all the setups, and we're going to see how it works. So pretend we're going to run it at 3 ticks first profit, 2 comes off. Second profit, it's going to be 12. 2 is going to come off. Stop loss tick. We're going to start off here. And again, I want to tighten it up. I want to say 6 ticks. And then trailing stop, real tight. 3 and 3. So maybe we catch a falling knife or something. Now I'm going to activate this. I'm going to move this over. Just want to see what shows up on the board, like previous, and see how it worked out. I could do that. So I'm going to click on apply. I'm going to hit that. I'm going to go back to the charts here. And let's see what shows up here. Now, right up on the top, you can see the 1 minute Thunderbird short. Now, I have directions here to pick up my son at 10:15. He's at a friend's house, so I have about a half an hour to share some knowledge. So now let's see if they're both running here. I'm going to double check here on this. 1 minute short is running. Did not come up. It did not hit that short. Oh, the reason it didn't hit that short, which, and sometimes it should. Oh, it's not a good short then. But I could see this candle right here. You see this arrow up here? This is some internal indications. One day I'll go over all these with you. But they all mean something. And that's a pretty good signal right there. That topping candle right there. We're watching fast rotation. It's embedded here. It looks like a flag. Trailing stop. You see that trailing stop hit? So now the trailing stop here automatically popped up. So if we go back here to this, now it's turned green. So now automatically. The one thing, there's a bug in this. It does not track on live accounts, unrealized and realized on my account. It tracks it over here, which also adds in any prior trades of the day. So that's the only thing I don't like about this, but you could watch it and you could go back and understand this is what we're at right now. I don't know why it doesn't do that. I should ask them. And you can see the previous count over there. That's what we're looking at right there. Yes, Orion. But to tell you the truth, the criteria might not have been met. I would have to look at the criteria. I'm going to do that right now with you. So what I'm looking at here, I'm going to take my local. I'm going to look at that candle where the that high was. It's very crowded up there with my everything here. But so this, between this, the divergence is here. That's where I thought the divergence was, here. And I believe that at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to put a data box in. And we put a data box in. It's kind of reading the internals here. So now I can look at that high. And at the time of that high, the stochastic was at 72. The recent high was up here, and this was at 72 at the close. And then you would have, so we're not, it was still in the trade. That was a good divergence. And you can see it did pull back a little here. We could still take trades if we think that the market here is kind of bullish or whatever. I'm still here. Even though the pattern is, or the strategy is running, I can still take trades. But I would have to adjust my orders over here, tell you how many I want to take. So this is all manual orders. If there's another strategy that I could run, I could do a custom strategy and stuff. But if I did have, and it didn't trigger, but I see it, I'll just, I'll say, all right, I want to take it. I want to just buy market or short. Which I almost want to do. Now this font is awful big, so let me get rid of that font. Let me bring that font down. I didn't make it a little bit brighter, right? And then the watermark is pretty big, so we're going to take it to 30. Apply that. All right, that's good. Well, I guess I'm going to have to get up in the middle of the night, make sure this thing doesn't freeze up on me in a bad way. This is the day the market will well, who knows what we're going to get on this. So we do have a short setup. Well, let me see, actually. Did I put my short on the right script there, a right account? Yes, it is. Everything's running now. So I have a short script, very tight, versus and a long script. Now market here breaking back down here a bit. To finish off this first part of the video here, UNH here. I like this going into tomorrow for a breakout. I think we could actually get a nice runner on this. I looked at it today. I backed off for some reason. I don't know why, but it closed at the highs. Looks good. I'd like to get into this. Nice ramp up after hours too, from 310 all the way up to 316. Damn. Back down to third. All right, Connell, let's stop, Connell. All right. Done with that song. So UNH here, looking to get in there. I think we're just gonna have to be in that one long. Something like some other ones. LVGO, we'll watch how that opens up tomorrow. And I know no one's going to get to this video before tomorrow, but there's a lot of good stuff here on the RockBot too. So I hope it helps you. All right, I want to stop this video. There's going to be another video on Friday, kind of an update, some new setups. But I wanted to touch base tonight, put out some things and update you on the RockBot and let you know we're running live here tonight. All right, so I want to stop the video. Hope you enjoyed that. And then Friday, we'll have the HPS watch list video for the members. Hope you enjoyed that.